Thursday morning, day 2 of our trip, and last night was fantastic. We slept great, it barely even got cold. I think most of us just kind of kept a blanket on top of us, and it's just so beautiful. The stars that were out last night were just absolutely incredible. Today we're gonna keep going our way down Chicken Corners Trail across Lock Hart Basin, and that's gonna put us in the mountains just outside of Monticello, and we'll check out how much snow is there, and if there's not too much, then we'll probably head through that. And if there is too much, then we'll head down and find a different route around them. So lots to do. This morning we're gonna just spend some time around camp, eat some breakfast, shoot the BB gun, just kind of have a good time, and then, you know, maybe hit the trail around 10 or 11. So let's get going. Molly over here just having the time of her life. Boys are out here playing, digging holes and stuff. Man, look at this. It's absolutely incredible. Like, I have been looking at this view for a day now, and I still can barely handle it. It's so beautiful. I'm looking for some recommendations from you guys on things you like to do for breakfasts. I basically have a couple of criteria for all cooking. I want to be fairly easy to make, taste good, and not take forever to clean up. So this morning I'm feeling lazy, so we're doing cold cereal and milk and bagels. But if you have some cool and good recommendations that you love, share them in the comments, and let's, you know, share some ideas. Good shot. Good shot. Molly. Is it too steep?
Yeah. Just a little. It's a little too steep. Look at that hole! Should we go see what?
Let's go look on the other side. Nice and slow.
Ow.
Cool. That's pretty cool. You coming, Jackson? Woo! A little fast.
Hey, Jackie! Jackie!
All right, guys, let's go down to the river. Gotta get Molly a drink.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool, huh? Pretty awesome, this
You should take a picture of it.
little slot. I figured we'd let Molly get a little drink in. That way we're taking advantage of this nice big amount of water, because I'm not sure how close we're going to be to it anymore after this. All right, let's go. Back on the trail, we were happy to be soaking in the red rock beauty of southern Utah. Just a few miles in, the road splits right to stay on Chicken Corners Trail or left to head towards the Lock Hart Basin. It didn't take long for the trail to take on a completely different tone. We ran into obstacle after obstacle, which was a ton of fun, but kept us moving at a very slow pace. Alright, what am I doing here?
I wish I had picked a different spot for the camera here. As always, cameras do a terrible job of showing how steep anything is. As you can tell, I'm trying to pick my line. On the right hand side, what you can't see is a pretty large 20-foot drop straight off the edge. I'm trying to put my right tire as close to the edge as I can so that I can turn into the boulder onto the left so that I don't get too off camber.
Dang it. So I missed that whole thing. Alright, so I should have done more research about Lock Hart Basin Road. It's more aggressive than I'm willing to tackle, especially solo with my kids. So there's been a couple of spots already that have been pretty cool, as you've seen in the footage, but there's this hill up here that I do not feel comfortable going up without a spotter, and I don't trust my 6-year-old as a spotter. Oh, maybe someone's coming behind us. So we're gonna turn around and redo our route, figure out a different thing to do, but you can see this part's getting a little sketchy. Still nothing too crazy, but this hill, beyond my skill level, certainly beyond my skill level without a spotter. It's hard to, cameras do things no justice, but it's pretty dang steep. Really not worried about this big boulder, worried about that big boulder up there at the top. There's just not a really good way around it, and I don't know what else is on this trail. And we've already spent an hour and gone about, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles since I'm having to walk a ton of it, and then you know, to kind of be my own spotter. So we're gonna turn around, head back down to Chicken Corners, and come up with an alternate plan for today and tomorrow. So still been tons of fun, but I don't recommend doing this road solo. If you broke down on this road, you'd be screwed. And I'm running solo with a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, so we're gonna turn around. You can see it's beautiful in here. So beautiful. This trail's been absolutely incredible, but actually past that obstacle, you get up on this next ledge and it doesn't look that bad, but I don't know if there's more like it, and I'm worried about doing that without someone else helping me, guiding me.
I was really reluctant to turn back. I really don't like giving up on things, and I was really looking forward to the rest of this adventure, and this was going to completely alter the course of our plans. I also had a feeling that this was the end of the rougher terrain. Like I had mentioned, I hiked up a little bit further, and it seemed like it got much better after that, but I didn't know if it stayed that way or if I was going to run into more obstacles. Once I got home, I watched several videos about the trail, and in fact, that was pretty much the end of the rough stuff. However, I felt like I had made the right decision. It was not shown well in the video, but the large boulder at the top of the hill on the left was pretty tough. It went straight up and kind of back actually towards the steep part of the trail. It sat at least 3 feet above the ground, and I looked at maybe piling up some boulders to make it a little bit better, but I knew I was going to be coming down really hard on the rocker panels, and without someone guiding my tires, it was going to be really hard without a spotter. It's certainly something that the Jeep is more than capable of, but not something I was ready to tackle alone. But the good news is, I'll be back for sure. Luckily, the ride in was awesome, and I was looking forward to getting another angle/shot of some of the cool obstacles that we'd already been past, especially where I knocked over the camera and missed the entire shot. Wrapped up lunch, and we're gonna kind of change up the trip completely now. I think the original plan, we were gonna take Lock Hart Basin towards, the mountains just outside of Monticello, and since we decided not to go down that road, we need to backtrack, and it's gonna send us all the way back into Moab. So I think we'll go on the other side of the Green River, maybe go up Potash Road, and then go up the Shafer switchbacks and find a place up on top up there on BLM land to camp tonight, and then formulate a game plan for tomorrow, for Friday. So let's hit the trail. That looks pretty fun. That's a way to spend the hot weather. Look at these people rock climbing.
No, I didn't even see them. Oh, I saw somebody.
After a quick stop in Moab to top off, we started heading down towards Potash Road. The last time I was here, I was in the Land Cruiser, headed in the opposite direction, and just after dropping down the switchbacks, I started to overheat. It took a few hours, but I limped it along a mile at a time until I got to the pavement, where I hitchhiked into town and found a tow truck. The week leading up to it was a pretty good adventure. I had spent several days with the Boy Scouts camping, mountain biking, and exploring areas near Gemini Bridges. I opted to stay another night after everyone else headed home, which is why I was headed down the Shafer switchbacks. With my gear in the Land Cruiser getting towed, and too cheap to pay $200 for a motel, I opted to stay at a hostel on the south side of town. The cruiser was repaired early the next day and I was on my way. Needless to say, I was happy to be back and hoping for a little bit better luck on the Shafer switchbacks. In many ways, this is where it all started for me. While I have enjoyed exploring back roads in Utah for my entire life, 4 years ago I got a permit for the White Rim Trail and spent 3 nights and 4 days exploring it. I decided to document the whole trip and enjoyed the experience so much that I started recording most of my overnight trips from then on out, which is how this channel got started.
I wish we were going left to Musselman Arch and then the rest of the White Rim Trail, but we don't have permits for that, so we're not. We are gonna head up the Shafer switchbacks here. They're really cool. I don't know how much filming we're gonna get because sometimes they're busy and it's not a really good place to stop.
There's something really special about the Shafer switchbacks, and in my opinion, it's a must-see trail for anyone who loves Red Rock country. You can either make it part of a White Rim Trail trip, or you can head into Moab via Potash Road, or what I would like to try next, drive down and then drive right back up. I recorded the entire thing and I will share it in its own video just so those who want to see it from top to bottom have something to see. Back on the pavement, it was time to find somewhere to camp. There are several organized campgrounds in the area, as well as many places to do primitive wild camping. We opted for the primitive camping and started exploring some side roads to find the perfect spot for the night.
All right, well, we found a little place to camp on this rock here. It's beautiful.
I like this too.
Start getting stuff set up.
Agnes?
Well, I would say that our audible was a success. First of all, the Shafer switchbacks are amazing. I don't know how much of that footage is going to be like super great because I was just holding, out the window with the GoPro, but we're up on top now. We found a nice place on BLM land to just do a little bit of camping tonight. And I also have reception, which is good because I'm going to be working on an alternate route for what we're going to do tomorrow. So let's get it figured out and we'll start messing with some dinner. Well, this is a s'more. Chips Ahoy cookie, Hershey's chocolate. That's what I'm talking about.
Versus grape. With marshmallows, right?
If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button so you can see more just like it. If you want to help us out, please share and like it. Thanks.